Watty's winners, and today it's Amy Speare who's on the deck with her novel All the Other Pearls. I really like how this actually sounds like All the Other Girls. Um, was that intentional or just pure accident?
No, I had never heard about it before actually, but I do really like that. So
Well,
that was a happy accident, as Bob Ross likes to say.
well, you just won your very first Watty just in the past WhatCon. Congratulations!
Thank you so much. I was not expecting it. I had some really lovely friends from the community who were rooting for me and who told me that it was going to happen. But of course, I blew them off. I didn't think that that was a reality. But shout out to Ava Larkson, especially. She's always been a really big supporter of the story, so I appreciate her.
Well, did these friends in the community also push you to finally enter your work into the Waddies? I know it's been a couple years since you actually entered.
Yeah, so I was kind of planning on doing that from the beginning, as long as I had it finished. It was definitely a rush to the finish line. I think I spent the entire month kind of trying to get it done. The month of August, was it? I spent my entire summer actually writing maniacally, trying to get those words in. So, and then it finished, and I was really glad. It felt like an accomplishment. And also, this book has been stretching on for a very long time. It was, I think, 2 years. So it was time to wrap it up, and the Wattys was a good, it was a good benchmark to just force me to get it done.
Okay, so how long did it take? How many months are you looking at? Because I think
Well,
it's a lot of sprints during this time just to get down.
yes. Yeah, well, I was writing two because I was writing my work in progress as well. I wrote 40,000 words of my work in progress as well over the summer. So over those 4 months, I think I probably wrote 20,000 words for all the other pearls, 20 or 30,000, and then, yeah, another 40,000 words for my work in progress. So that's what I was doing all summer. Um, I've never written that much in my life. So,
Well, it's the first time for everything, especially when you're winning an award.
yeah, it's
Okay,
crazy.
so
I'm
go ahead.
very, very grateful. That's all I was going to say. But
Okay. Well, all the other pearls is available on Wattpad.com, and it's definitely worth a look. It's it won in romance category, uh,
mhm.
and I believe this. What is it? I was going to say something funny, but I completely forgot. So I'm just going to move on
Aw,
from that.
hopefully you remember it later.
No, your log line is it says that in which a blind girl and a disfigured
Mhm.
army vet attempt to find love and belonging in a big bad world. This is quite a different. Did you have to do anything special when writing this?
Yes, yeah, it is hard to write as a non-lived experience writer about these topics, about characters who they're really going through it and they have a lot of unique experiences that, like, I myself do not have. So it was a lot of research to try my best to make it realistic and to do them justice. Yeah, because in the past, I think the trap that I've fallen into is just writing for the mainstream, which is predominantly white, able-bodied characters, and because that's what I just saw everywhere around me, so that's what I started writing. But then when I actually took a step back and thought about it, I'm like, why am I doing this? So this is a good chance to kind of break out of that, I think, pattern that I'd fallen into before. So yeah, I'm glad that I did it. It was a lot of work, and it was a little sad to see, I guess, compared to some of those other more mainstream novels, featuring, like I said, those very standard characters, this one was a lot less popular at first, which told me something, and it was a little sad that it kind of told me that folks weren't necessarily as interested in something more diverse. But right now, though, it's getting a really solid following, so I'm really happy to see that people are willing to engage with something that they might not normally
Well,
be interested in.
it's now up to 338,000 reads on Wattpad. So you're obviously doing something right.
I hope so. I know it's still very much like it's definitely a privilege. I know a lot of folks really would love to have that number as well. Like it's a high number and I'm really grateful. But also compared to some of my other works, I know it's definitely on the lower end, which I do the comparison, of course, but I'm really glad for all the people who are supporting it. So
Okay, well, I'm going to read from the synopsis now. This is All the
Okay.
Other Pearls, and is written by Amy Speare. Go look up the book, or you can find Amy Speare, Amispeare. Nice and easy to spell. Okay, so here we go. Should I use the epic movie voice?
Yes,
I'm going to.
100%.
All right. Olivia Harris is blind, and that's just the way it is. Navigating relationships as a college student is already challenging enough. Throw in a couple overprotective parents and a strong dose of prejudice, and it seems freaking impossible. Injured and cynical, Connor Wright feels like an unaccepted intruder in the society he risks his life to serve. Since returning to the land of the living, nothing makes sense anymore. Somehow, the blind girl sees him more clearly than anyone else does.
Dun dun dun.
Mature content and lots of steam. How much steam would you
Oh,
say is in this one?
less than my usual, I will just say. But there is still, there has to be. That's the only thing that well, I'm not going to say that's the only thing I enjoy writing. It is my favorite thing. I don't know why. Let's not talk about that today.
I was about to get right into it.
Okay. Yeah. So if you, an amount, let me think. I feel like probably, because how many chapters are there? Like 28 chapters?
30, it says 33 parts, so I would say about
33 parts. One part is an intro, one part is the playlist, and there's two ending parts that are just promo. So that would mean like, yeah, something like 29
okay.
chapters. I would say six or seven of them have a solid amount of steam. So there you go.
Well, coming from knowing you, I'm surprised that's all that they are.
I know. That's why I said it was tame this time around. There were other things that I was focusing on.
Well, you definitely focus more on the relationship part of it. It's not just all about
Mhm.
the sexiness. So
Yeah.
this it seems to have really worked for you. Why do you think this book in particular resonated so well with readers and with the judges?
I think it's definitely unique. I don't think I had seen anything like it out there. And I think because of that freshness, maybe it was um, definitely something that I imagine caught the judge's eye. I think maybe. I can only guess what their motivations were. Um, but I know you are, what, a two, three, four, five times Watty award winning author, Rodney.
Only the one.
So I was going to say you're probably an expert in this area. Um, Yeah, other than that, I think the characters, even though their struggles were so unique and maybe not something that all of us have to deal with or think about on the daily, there was still something very kind of human and relatable at the core of that. So I think once you got past maybe the novelty of some of the things that you would not normally think about, you could definitely just relate to some of the shared struggles of, being human and trying to navigate relationships and trying to fit in and all of these different things that I think when you can connect with them really make for a good story.
Okay. Well, you have a quote in here from Victor Hugo: "To love or have loved, that is enough. Ask nothing further. There is no other pearl to be found in the dark folds of life."
And then there's the title of the book, which is All the Other Pearls.
Pearl. I said girls. All the other pearls, not all the other girls.
Yeah, and so the epilogue is Olivia doing a little bit of commentary. She's a history major, so I think she does really enjoy her literature and just commenting that she thinks that quote is BS. Like, it's not just love, there are all of these other things in your life that make it worthwhile, which is kind of a interesting logline for a romance story. But anyways, love is not all, but because I think there's definitely so much more depth to their relationship just beyond that basic emotion.
All right, cool. So, what are you working on next?
That is a great question. I got a notification that I had to silence. Okay, I think we're back. Um, I am working on a in progress book also on Wattpad called Undercovers. It is a much different tone than all the other pearls, to say the least. It is a spy. novel. Are we? For a second, I thought I was frozen. I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
It is a spy romance. It is, again, it is very steamy. Um, what else? Enemies to lovers. Yeah,
no,
so definitely
I've heard you talking about this one. It's very
just a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah.
sure.
Um,
Yeah, we'll go with that. I'll let you off the hook on this one.
okay. Okay. Well, anyways, if you're curious about that, you should head over to my page and check it out for yourself. We are, I think, 19 chapters in, and there are new updates every Friday. So, yeah, it's a fun time. Definitely a different tone, and I think it's what I've had a lot more success with in the past. And so it's still just picking up. I think lots of people are reading it. Not as many people are engaging in the comments yet, but I think we're gonna see how it goes. I think the community is just fantastic, and I really enjoy when people share their thoughts, or we have some really rowdy parties in the comment section actually. So I'm hoping we can get some more of that coming in soon.
Yeah, you're one of those writers who really love to engage with your writers. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, yeah. So I think this happened with a few of the books I was writing in the past where we would have like if you go in, you will find this ridiculous comment thread that is like 90 comments long because it's just like me and readers who have become really close friends, um, joking and laughing and like I'm trying to think of an example of what could possibly cause us to have like 90 comments in a thread. Some really silly things like I know sometimes people will write fan fiction in the comments or will have like hypothetical situations in which you were a character in the book, and it's just like really fun. Not as much of that lately. I feel like people have been really busy, and the pandemic has really taken a hit on the capacity that people have to, I don't know, participate. But it was fun while it lasted, and I'm hoping to get a little bit more of that coming up in the future. So
Well, you can't not appreciate enthusiastic fans.
exactly. It was definitely a privilege because I know not a lot of other people actually like speaking necessarily have that same experience. So I really appreciated all the people who really like to engage in my books, and yeah, had a lot of fun with my readers. So hopefully lots more fun to be had in the future.
Okay, well, you do say your stories are smutty and full of the unexpected. The only thing you
Just a little bit.
need is a happily ever after. So that's
Yes,
quite a
that is
premise.
true. Yes, or happily ever after. I don't think I've ever not delivered on that. Happily for now too. I think I think I went through a phase where I was questioning why books needed to have a happy ever after, but then I realized that I would absolutely hate somebody if I wrote their book and it didn't end happily. So I would only want to do that. If you put, because I think I put my characters through a lot of struggles with the characters, and if there's no emotional payoff at the end, I don't think that's fair. I definitely like to make it a struggle as we go, but by the end, I think you should be happy. So that's what I try to deliver on.
Do you put your characters through hell?
Sometimes I think for yes, sometimes depends. Sometimes I feel bad and I just want to make their lives easy, but that's actually no fun. So sometimes I have to force myself to be a little bit meaner with them. I sometimes I think I see them as people, and that's what helps me is just like imagining who they are as people and what they do, and they very much drive the next scene as characters. I am notoriously bad at plotting, so it's very character driven, and whatever they say goes. And sometimes they just don't want me to give them a hard time, so sometimes I have to force my hand at that. But
Okay. So are you
yeah,
a pantser or a plotter?
oh, I am definitely a pantser. Although I've been trying to correct my ways. It's hard though. I think I'm a pantser at heart, and you can't get it out of me. Plotting is hard. It is really hard. You have to actually have ideas to start with. You can't just make them up as you go, which is actually very difficult, I found. So the only one that I've been plotting is this current work in progress. And so I did a lot of work over the summer just trying to outline what all the scenes could look like and what the progression would be. But even then, it's not complete. It is there are still gaps that where I just don't know what's going to happen, and that scares me.
Yeah, some you just have to look at outlining in a different way. Me, I just used bullet points. Like, okay, this is the chapter.
Yeah,
He's going to do this. He's going to do this, and he's going to do
yeah,
this. And then the
yeah,
writing of it is just the discovery
yeah.
of what's happening.
That's great. I've been doing that, but like after the fact. So I
Oh,
have
okay.
the outline. So no, but that's not. So I have everything that I want to happen. And then when I actually write the chapter, chances are maybe it didn't go exactly the way that I wanted it to.
It never does, even when you outline.
It doesn't. Exactly. So then I have to make like the real outline, which is like dot dot dot. This is what actually happened.
Yeah, but it's the
And
beauty of writing. It even if you plan it, unless you are a machine, even if you plan it, you're never going to deliver exactly what you say because your characters they have a life of their own. They have language of their own.
yeah, it is kind of annoying that they won't just do what I tell them to. Um,
Well, that's because you're being so mean to them.
oh, not so mean. Oh my gosh. Is that what they're telling you?
Yes,
Oh,
that's what they tell me all the time.
I'll have to talk to them. Maybe I'll have to punish them. We'll see.
Are you reading anything right now, or are you just very focused
Am
on writing?
I focused on writing and focused on school? Um, I think all my readers know that I'm a student in med school right now, so that is busy. Not as much time as I would like. I feel like the funny thing is that I've always been a reader, but I've been an offline reader. I read a lot of literary fiction, and I read a lot outside of the genre that I write in, actually. I think that it definitely helps me get different ideas and see the world in different ways. So, what am I reading right now? It is, ooh, what is it called? That is a good question. Which shows how invested I am in
You
it.
were you're on the
It's,
spot.
I know, it's over there somewhere. I don't know. It is by a Canadian author named Omar Al-Akkad, and I think it's kind of dystopian fiction. It's about the refugee crisis. I think it's called What Strange Paradise, actually. I think it won Canada Reads and the Scotiabank Giller Prize or something like that. It is interesting. Um, but again, it's been slow going because I just have so many other things on my plate. Um, Otherwise, on the app, I should be reading more. Um, some of my favorites are definitely Ava Larkson. I just love her rich world building, and her language is just beautiful. I'll always maybe pop into one of her books and see what she's up to. I also, oh, whatever. Sorry, I disconnected there for a
It's okay.
second. Okay, so I also really like Liza Lewis. She writes really fun romances, and she's a friend. So I think her work in progress right now is called Darlin. It's like a motorcycle type thing, so exciting.
Right.
Other than that, no, nothing much, but lots of books on my to be read list. Just not a lot of time to read them.
Okay. Well, are there any Wattpadders you wanna give a shout out to?
Besides the two that I already can't say, like, can't say enough about them, Ava and Liza Lewis. Actually, she's gonna kill me. She pronounces her name Lisa.
Ooh,
So you should cut that out, Rodney. It is, yeah, you should definitely cut that out. She's reminded me before. It is Lisa.
I am.
And she blames, she can't, I know, he can't edit it out. I'm just gonna have to make sure she never sees this. Um,
What's the name again?
yes.
I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah, so E.L. Lewis on Wattpad. Lisa, she's lovely. Fellow Canadian. Um, yeah, she's doing some really great stuff. Avery Keelan on Wattpad. She's from my city actually, so we had the chance to get some coffee in person, which was really, really fun.
Oh, okay.
She writes hockey romance, and she is self-publishing this December, so I'm very excited for her. Shout out for that. Who else? Well, I have to shout out our community. I think we have just the best group of writers who really support each other and always there to bounce ideas off of, or to um, hear what you have to say, or deal with your, well, my, not your. What do they deal with? You deal with everything. So I do appreciate that. The writing sprints that we get to do where we sit down for half an hour and we just see how many words we can write. That is a very helpful experience. So, Mason and Deb and everybody else, Jess, like just a great community. I really appreciate. all the support. So
Okay. Would you like to? Do you have any like last words of advice
ooh,
for new writers?
I would, yeah, I would say you have to enjoy what you're writing. I think that if you enjoy it, then you'll keep going with it. I also think you unfortunately have to be patient, and it's really hard because it's hard when you don't feel necessarily that you're getting validation or that there's nobody out there who is reading what you're writing, and it's definitely really hard. And I went through that for a couple years before I guess people caught on, which was really, really fantastic. So hang in there. I think if you're enjoying what you're writing and you're trying your best to make it the best that you can, so you're looking at your grammar and you're trying to improve your craft, I think people will come along for the ride eventually. So just hang in there and have fun. It should be fun. If you're not having fun, then um, yeah.
Brilliant. All right, well, thank you so much for joining
Okay.
me. The book is All the Other Pearls by Amy Speare, and it's on Wattpad right now. It just won Watty in the romance category, and it sounds like a lot of fun. Go follow Amy and read more of her books. There are other books on the shortlist that you should definitely go check out. So make sure to go to Wattpad.com, find the other award winners, but also check out the shortlist because there's so many good stories that have found there. We'll be conducting some more interviews next week with some more Watty winners. So make sure to come back and check this out. But more than anything else, be sure to subscribe right now. Amy, thank you again for joining me, and I hope to see you around.
Thanks so much, Rodney. Yeah, you are definitely a more polished speaker than I am in these webcasts. So thanks for inviting me. Hopefully, I didn't make too much of a mess of it. So